Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jordan. I'm the founder of Yoniswell Surf Collective. And today we are going to talk about this week's message. First, to get some housekeeping things out of the way, I want to make sure that everybody is aware that I do have an Aries birthday special running for astrology readings. And what this includes, I've actually lowered the price even more because I really want this to be accessible. During this time, this guidance, this insight can be so beneficial for people as we are shifting into this new energy on the planet. And astrology is a language in which you can gain deeper insight when it comes to getting to know yourself better and learning how to navigate in all of these changes that have been building up really since 2020, but also just right now is very potent in saying goodbye to the old structure of our reality and stepping into something completely brand new that will physically feel different. And you may already be experiencing this. This is a time when many people are saying goodbye to relationships, careers, jobs, and are embracing their newfound gifts that maybe they weren't even aware of. And so I am offering an Aries birthday special where it's $75. It is $75 for 90 minutes where we meet on Zoom and we go over your natal chart and we go over your solar return chart. Your natal chart will show you the blueprint of your own energy signature that's very unique. And the solar return chart will show you, it will give you a heads up on what this year is really highlighting for you at this time. So email me, it's in the description below. The best way to get a hold of me, because my website is going through a few changes, the Yoniswell site and my website, which are integrated, is to email me. At least reserve your session, and then we can schedule it when you are available. And so this Aries special ends on April 19th, and then the Taurus special will begin on April 20th. This type of price reduction also applies to our surf coaching offerings. And it's important to also reach out if that's what you're looking for, because we offer a dynamic list of modalities that can really help you, whether it's improve surfing, whether it's connect to your intuition, whether it's an astrology reading that really helps you return to your nature. Like the holistic view of all of these offerings are really working together to help you connect to yourself deeper, connect to nature, and essentially heal and empower yourself to a point where in your daily life you are living from your natural self. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to talk about this week's energy. And at the end, I'm going to show you the chart and we are going to highlight the culmination of the end of the week and what it's really setting up for the next week. Okay, and so my intention behind this, as some of you may have heard, and perhaps there's some people who are new here, my intention of this message is to really interpret the astrological forecast, just like we have a weather forecast in our daily lives. This astrological forecast is a practical point of view. It's an interpretation to help you see the practical point of view of the planetary aspects and the moon cycles and what they're offering, what they are communicating to us as a way to navigate through the energy. And so we look at the themes, we look at the archetypes, and then we utilize our intuition as a way to connect to these deeper, because this is not an intellectual process. You can read astrology books all day long. You can read any book all day long. You're only going to absorb a certain amount of that information. And when we're dealing with something that you can't necessarily see, but you feel and you sense and you feel it in your heart, and you feel this strong internal message coming from within, this is the energy. This is the way in which we understand this type of language. So it's when we absorb it into our internal intuitive self, and that's when our intuition actually activates even more. And it's a very wise and beautiful knowledge that comes through, where it helps to operate like this on a daily basis, because you will be able to identify and discern what feels right and what doesn't, and then allow yourself to do the research utilize the mind as the beautiful tool that it is to help bring, to help connect the dots. So again, my intention is to share this information as a way for you to benefit on a daily basis in a practical way. So we are on the heels of the full moon at 23 degrees of Libra, which was ruled by Venus. And so this message is coming out a day after the full moon. And literally an hour after the full moon, Venus went direct. So she's no longer retrograde. And so Venus is the ruler of the planet of all things we love in this physical world, right? So it has to do with our self-love, our relationship with ourselves, to others, our value system, it's creativity, it's beauty, it's our relationship to money, it's the things that we are able to buy with the money that we have. It is about survival, and it is about our ability to provide for ourselves. So when we are rooted in a strong sense of self and self-love and values, we are then operating from that essence of being able to provide for ourselves, because it's in alignment with our value system and in alignment with our heart and our sense of self. So when she goes direct, we are going to experience perhaps a moment of freedom from what felt like very restricted, almost like you were shackled down to confront old patterns and dynamics that have reemerged that have to do with all of these themes. And because she is conjunct Saturn, and because she is still behind Saturn, she is going direct, moving forward. So we are taking steps towards completely letting go of these old patterns, this old reality that was based on conditioning that wasn't necessarily in alignment with who we naturally are. So we are moving forward. But with this knowledge, with this transit, we are still cautiously moving forward to make sure. Saturn wants us to know, to really know within the root of our soul, the root of our heart chakra, that the ways in which we used to do things and be in relationship to self and others, and perhaps the way we managed our money, is not moving forward with us. It's the old patterns that felt like it kept us in a loop, not being able to make progress or to do better. So this is the moving forward of completely letting go, forgiving ourselves, having compassion for ourselves, and forgiving others, and really allowing this energy to just culminate. With caution, we are moving forward, and the opportunities are going to start opening up. This is also a very important time to be cautious about your money, and to take your time in making decisions when it comes to relationships with money, new projects. Even though the new is just boiling, it's like bursting out of the seams, and we know like we're already in it, but it may feel still like there are some barriers, some walls, and those are simply there. The purpose is to just have patience, to trust, and to really make cautious but just discerning decisions of what you are letting go of, and then what you are really ready to step into and embody. And imagine like you're already embodying this natural self, this light that is just vibrating from your heart. But there's a wall that you have to climb to get over onto the other side where that wall is no longer there. So just take your time, because the wall will dissolve. Have patience, have compassion, forgive where is needed, and connect to your heart, to your intuition, and keep moving forward. So it's also important to remember that if you have planets or points at 23 degrees of the cardinal signs, which is Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries, this is significant for you. You're going to feel this more strongly. You may feel the barricade even more, but you may feel like when the floodgates open even more. So keep that in mind. So at this time during this week and last week, for a while now, the sun has been conjunct. So the sun has met up with the planet, well, it's an asteroid, Chiron, which represents our deepest wound, that eventually becomes our medicine to share with the world, to share with the people in our immediate reality, with our families, with our communities, and with the collective. And then we all benefit from this divine wisdom and knowledge. And so the sun has been traveling with Chiron in Aries, and it's been a shedding, it's like shedding of the skin, but it's also shedding of the light, shedding light on or in ways in which we have lived. So, okay, basically it's this. We're shedding the skin. We are giving birth We are experiencing enlightenment around the ways in which we have been afraid to take up space as our natural self, as our having our own self agency, asking for what we need, taking initiative and creating ways for us to just take action and respectfully initiate towards what we desire, towards what we need, towards what resonates with who we naturally are. So this is a time where we are reminded to be in our light, to take up space, and to honor our truth, our true sense of self that is supported and emerging with respect to ourselves and to others. On April 17th, the planet Saturn meets up with the North Node in Pisces. Now, Saturn is the natural ruler of Capricorn, the 10th house. Okay. And so these three, Saturn, the 10th house, and Capricorn, represent conditioning. It is the archetype of authority. In its natural form, it is about embodying our own authority, being our own authority, and standing in truth, integrity, and respect, and then operating from that and really being in our power as a natural leader. That is the natural expression. And so Saturn through Pisces is helping us close out the last 30 years to allow us to confront the culmination and the endings that are ready to leave our energy fields because it no longer resonates with who we are and that we have learned the lessons. Saturn in Pisces wants you to confront the lessons that you have been learning for all of this time. And we are getting ready to structure a brand new reality. And in terms of Saturn, it's the next 30 years. Okay. And so Saturn in Pisces meeting up with the North Node, which is essentially like our evolved self. It's where we're going. It's our North Star. Essentially, it's how we are growing and elevating to the better version of ourselves in Pisces. And so it's setting the tone for the new structure of reality becoming real, and will show us where where in our lives we need to address our responsibilities, making sure that we're taking care of our needs and what we are responsible for, so that we don't bring these old patterns and these previous burdens, this previous baggage with us from the past. Saturn just wants you to confront, acknowledge, and then the resources will come in order to resolve and dissolve what needs to be taken care of. And so Saturn wants us to be in our own authority and to thrive responsibly with integrity and respect for ourselves and for others. And with this Pisces energy, I want to remind you, as we are a surfing community, Pisces is the ocean. And so every time we paddle out and we surf, we are connecting to our divine. We are connecting to our intuition. We are connecting to the ocean, who is constantly a messenger of wisdom, where we are culminating old desires and forming new ones and really setting the intention of what we are letting go of and then what we are creating. And so when you go out there, even if you're just spending time in the water, set your intention. The ocean is waiting for you. That wave is waiting for you. The ocean is ready to share her divine wisdom and acknowledge, like she acknowledges you and you acknowledge her. And then together we are co-creating something that is really powerful and beautiful and in alignment with nature, with who we naturally are, with our hearts and with our intuition. And that doesn't just benefit us as individuals, it benefits everybody around you, families, communities, the collective. And so as Saturn is conjunct the North Node in Pisces, Saturn is asking us to sustain a spiritual practice as a resource and a connection to our inner world every day. This is going to help ground us in the new energies as things will be changing rapidly and evolving, especially rapidly in the next 5 years, definitely the next 20 years, but we're going to see significant changes on the world and within our reality in the next 5 years. And so this is a way, having a spiritual practice where you're going within and connecting to your intuition. It is a way that's going to help ground us. And we are reminded that it's safe to go within, to trust our intuition, and to operate from there in the world. Around this time, Mercury is conjunct Neptune, and Mercury is our mind. It's our ability to gather information so that we can have choices. It's where we develop our opinion. It is our source of communication. So Mercury is how you communicate. It's also how you understand the language of the world. So depending on where your Mercury is in your natal chart, which sign and which house, it will really highlight how you are best in communicating and how you understand the world to be at large. And when Mercury is meeting up with the planet Neptune, Neptune being the ocean, being the sea, being our connection to spirit, to all things that we can't see, but we feel and sense. Neptune is now in Aries. So Neptune is clearing the path. Like I just heard recently two astrologers that I highly respect in the evolutionary astrology community. I heard them on their monthly recording on YouTube talking about how it was actually Rose Marcus talking about how when she imagines Neptune in Aries, she imagines Poseidon in the sea, in the ocean, like clearing the path, carving the edges. Like it's like that day that you go out and you paddle. Yeah, you paddle out for a session and the water is clean. There's, it's not choppy, it's not mushy, it's absolutely clean. And every wave is so divinely shaped. That is Neptune and Aries. We are moving into these. I mean, Neptune has a 165-year cycle. So this is a very big energy that's happening in the collective. And when Mercury is meeting up with Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries, this is where we experience perhaps a new surge of clarity, a push forward with brilliant ideas and communication that really supports us in our new endeavors and supports who we naturally feel we are at this time, our own self-agency to move forward, to create, to initiate. And this does not only benefit us as individuals, again, this benefits our families, our communities, our friends, and the collective. And the moment we have been waiting for is Mars re-enters the sign of Leo. This is a beautiful and powerful energy where we will feel less tired. Mars in Cancer since, I believe last November is tired. We may feel very exhausted and tired at this point. This Mars in Cancer has been confronting our inner child, and situations have perhaps emerged in our lives that allowed us to emotionally evolve and heal through old prior dynamics of the past, but in the present moment. And so this Mars in Leo is really where we're going to feel, again, another surge and push into really embodying and feeling who we naturally are, this new sense of self that is ready to creatively self-actualize, to own our purpose with confidence. This is a healed Mars. This is a healed masculine energy. So the masculine of each of us, within each of us, has done their inner work, their inner emotional work, and has connected to their own spirituality, their own intuition. For those who haven't done the work, we will be able to see the difference between somebody who has and somebody who hasn't. And so we are really supported, given that we've done the work, to move with confidence, to create with confidence, to embody our own vulnerability because we have emotionally matured. And vulnerability is a strength. It is a strength to really share with others and to be in your own power with that vulnerable inner security of self. This is a evolved, emotionally healed person who is confident in their own inner security. They go within to find their strength, their courage. They are secure. They are emotionally secure within themselves. They do not seek it in another. And they are creating from that inner strength, that inner security. And again, it's helping cultivate the new earth, right? What benefits all, what is rooted in natural law, what is rooted in giving, sharing, and inclusion, that we are all equal. So we are going to feel this boost of energy so that we can take action and embody the ownership of who we naturally are now. In this week, the divine feminine continues to rise. And right now we are being confronted with our truth, with our beliefs, and to honor them with empowerment. This is warrior goddess energy that is operating from creative intelligence, from truth, from love, and our pure soul's nature. There is no compromising this. The divine feminine is rising within a patriarchal society that is demolishing, that is imploding on itself. The patriarchal domination is imploding on itself. The divine feminine is standing up and stepping into her role, and there is no compromising. And we do this with love. We do this from natural law, giving, sharing, and inclusion. We all have a place. We all have a purpose. We are equal. So then we prepare for next week when Mars will be approaching his opposition. And remember, Mars is the archetype of It's the same as the first house in the zodiac wheel. It is Aries, and Mars is the infant of the zodiac. Mars represents our conscious soul's desires. It's our ability to take action, to initiate new starts, and to go after what we desire so that we can create. And Mars does correlate to anger. It can correlate to rage. And so if you have repressed emotions, you will experience this transit or can experience this transit. And we will definitely see this manifest in the collective, from a global's perspective, because the toxic masculine, Mars represents the divine masculine. The toxic masculine will show itself. And it's because there is repression. And when there is repression, there is distortion. When there is distortion, there are emotions that get stuffed down and then will perhaps manifest into anger and rage, divisiveness, war. So this transit coming up, and I'm not being doom and gloom, I'm just explaining the archetype as it expresses itself. When Mars is in its natural expression, opposing Pluto in Aquarius, this signifies a further evolution of the hero's journey of change and a transition into our nature, into our empowerment. Who are you now? What are your soul's desires? And what are you creating in this world that is in alignment with your heart and also, again, can benefit you, your friends, your family, and the collective? So I'm going to share the chart at this time so that you can see what this dynamic looks like. Again, this could be geometry, it could be symbols and lines for people. But here we are with Mars. Today I have it for Los Angeles, California, because I'm just honoring the California girl in me, and I'm honoring that Yoniswell began in Los Angeles, still has a presence there. And also I'm sending so much love to everybody in Los Angeles who are experiencing the aftermath of the fires, who are obviously still battling. Los Angeles is a very strong city, and I know that we will rise above this. And I'm sharing space and just sending my love and supportive energy to anybody and everybody who is deeply impacted by the fires. Mars entering back into the sign of Leo will eventually oppose this Pluto in the weeks to come. And this Mars is beautifully trining this Mercury. So again, the ideas and how we're going to shape our new desires and new projects and new relationships, and it's the unknown. How are we going to move into the unknown with a new career, a new job, when we've never been in this situation before? This is completely new, and there's a lot of fear around the newness, the unknownness. Well, for example, this Mercury is going to bring in the ideas, the communication, and partially the resources that we need in order to move forward. And then we need to remember that this Uranus right here in Taurus is sextiling Saturn. And so essentially what that means is Uranus will provide the resources so that we can build the new reality. We can move forward in the new structure of a job, relationships, whatever this means for you, right? Because Saturn says it's time. It's time to just plunge forward, even if you don't know what it looks like, even if you don't know where your next client is coming from. I mean, I don't know. It could be, it's different for everybody. Okay. This is also a time where we are supported to take more time alone, to really process these changes, to really process doing it correctly this time, because we are now in alignment with a value system, a belief system that really resonates with our hearts, our truth, and is coming from within. It's coming from our intuition. So it's rooted in our natural and pure soul's nature. Perhaps you feel you have a mission, a soul mission, and now it's time to really create it, to embody it, and to just own it. Because perhaps you've been afraid in the past to really just be it, to creatively self-actualize it. This Mars entering Leo says, I am here to stand in my pure sense of self, my agency of self, and I am here to creatively self-actualize towards my creative purpose as my new reality, because I know that it is representing who I naturally am and what I was created to be and to do. So I'm honoring that. And when we honor that, the universe meets us there. The universe will meet you wherever you're at. And imagine if you are standing in the purest form of your self-expression in your nature. Imagine. You may not even be able to imagine what the universe will bring to the table, co-creating with you to meet you there, to meet you here in this moment right now. So I'm going to stop sharing, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to end it there. This was very inspiring for me. I love to share this information, to share this perspective, and I love integrating it with nature, with the ocean, with an activity that can be very healing and empowering, such as surfing, such as being in the ocean waters. So I also want to remind you that we still have spots open for our Divine Feminine Surf Immersion experience. So reserve your spot now. There's limited spots. We keep this as a more intimate group so that people get more one-on-one attention. And right now we are offering a special price. It's $300 off the original price. And this won't last for much longer. So reserve your spot now. The dates are May 24th through May 30th. It's 6 nights, but you get 5 days of surf coaching. There's breath work, there's meditation, there is education around connecting to the divine feminine. There are so many perks and gifts with this experience. And here in El Salvador at K59, it is truly a special place because of the people, because of the nature of the land itself. And it gets to be experienced, respected, and honored. And I believe it's going to help so many people take with them into their daily realities a connection to their own nature and a connection to nature, and an immense improvement of their surf skills, and just overall a very special part of how they're going to share it with their own lives and their friends, families, and communities when they return. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'm sending you oceans of love. Bye for now.